Hi, it's Paul Bolger again. This is vlog 4 for the Kickstarter project on Hound. I'm going to talk about characters. I'm going to start off with King Connor and Queen Maeve. I'm just going to talk about how I basically devised who my versions are. Start with King Connor. When we meet King Connor, he's at the height of his power. He's just won a huge war. So in my mind, he was like the original High King, a sort of a benign dictator. So I wanted his look to reflect his personality and his status. In ancient Ireland there were 7 classes, 7 castes. And from the king down to a slave, each class was denoted by a colour. So the king had 7 colours and the slave had 1 colour. Everything about Connor, his crown makes a statement. You'll know him from a mile away with the shape of that crown and the horns on it. He wears a wolf skin over the top of his cloak, which is interesting because his name means wolf lover or wolf keeper, or hound keeper, which is a derivation of the Irish, which is a hound is basically a protector and a wolf is an attacker. So they saw their warriors as hounds and their enemies as wolves. In this version, King Connor is not just a keeper of warriors, he's also a keeper of the peace. He's obsessed with peace and good life and good living, sport, having a drink, having a good meal, and making sure everybody can have this. But not everybody agrees, of course. You know, one kingdom might see this as decadent, another kingdom sees it as sort of uppity. You know, another kingdom doesn't care. So basically you have a guy who's living in his own world, his own bubble is perfect, everybody does what he wants, or he does his best to make sure they get what they want. But he likes to rub his enemy's nose in it every now and then. So his whole demeanour and his whole look is always this one of overbearing. He's always trying to be the top dog, if you pardon the pun. And having Cuchulainn in his midst is amazing for him because he has the ultimate weapon, a living sword. Something and somebody who can put down any resistance. Not that he's ever had to call it, the threat is enough. So we see this glamorous kind of young king who becomes this older, slightly overweight guy who maybe needs to do a bit of exercise, but is still, you know, pretty powerful. And everything about him, I hope, is reflected in the size of his house, the size of his palace, the size of his chariot and his horses. Everything's bigger, you know. He's just a big personality. And I tried to put that across, even down to his sword. You know, when he gets the sword from Cullen in the forge, it's not just a regular Celtic style short bladed sword. The blade is broader. You know, it's got gold. It's shiny. There's something extra to it. Everything about Connor is bling, basically. And so we come to Queen Maeve. She's the Queen of the West. Not a happy camper in this version, a bit of an opportunist, a bit feeling like she's downtrodden, wants her own back, was beaten in a big war a generation before. She's not exactly the person that's described in the myth. There's a bit of it there, hopefully more than a bit. But this version of Maeve is more like somebody who sees an opportunity and takes it, but doesn't realise she's being manipulated by a darker force. Her look is ostentatious poverty. She still has the family jewels and she wears them, but they've seen better days. She's acid rich and cash poor. And this is kind of symbolised by her look. She has that gold crown, this crescent, and it was originally a collar, it wasn't worn on the head. Also her hair being so red in my mind, even though the book is in black and white, I wanted to have this really fire red hair. You know, her other colours are black, burnt umber or ochre, so she's very much of the earth. Everything about these people from the west is tied back into the people that were there before the so-called Celts came. So the symbols are all linked to the various stone monuments that maybe were built by the Morrigan's people 2,000 or 3,000 years before that again. You're dealing with Stone Age kind of people, or Bronze Age, the late Bronze Age, the Iron Age, and I try to just show that how some of this stuff might have existed side by side, even though it's probably not true. So the symbols on Maeve's cloak, for example, are based on these gold discs that were found. They have these cruciform shapes. Drawing women is not the easiest, you know. So I was lucky to find a model to help me with the Maeve character. I then worked with a local theatre costume designer who also does gear for reenactments, medieval Ireland and Vikings. So she made me this fantastic version of one of my designs. Bram go wailing to an asna varum, Braham waits to August Braham to the Bram go wailing to an asna varum, I can the kind of Bashim of the So there you have it. This is a short history, short insight into the design of the characters. There'll be more coming on the main characters. So thanks for watching. See you soon.